A Detroiter says he's fed up and now he's calling on the problem solvers for help.
His apartment building is in need of several fixes, but he says he calls management, but he's been ignored. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly has a story.
You could definitely tell it's got its old charm.
But what happens when home sweet home one day becomes a nightmare?
I get a cardio exercise every time I try to go home because I have to walk up dozens of stairs. It's over $70 to get up to my apartment.
That's because the one remaining elevator that was working is out.
One hasn't worked ever since I've been in, but the other one that has been usable hasn't been usable for almost 3 months now.
And other problems exist at the Jacobs, but we're told calls to management are ignored.
There's a couple handrails that are, one has completely fallen off the wall and it's just been laying there for over a month, and the side door is blocked. So if there's ever an emergency, there's a cone right in the middle of the stairwell, and then the door itself is so rusted that if you open it, it's probably going to fall off.
Some residents are willing to accept poor conditions for low rent.
On the best day, it's a Class C- building.
The tenant says the owner of this property is Boydell Development, so we're going to the city to help get things fixed.
Fox 2 learned the owner and his multiple properties are no stranger to the city.
Dennis Kefalanos. Mr. Kefalanos is, in fact, the owner of 117 different properties in the city of Detroit. This building, along with 102 others, is under a consent agreement requiring all of the buildings under this agreement to be repaired by September the 30th.
Fox 2 reached out to the owner and the wait for a response continues. But city officials say because the elevator is considered an emergency, they can demand immediate action.
If they're not running within the next 7 days, we'll be going back to court.
The city makes it clear landlords have to keep properties up to code, and if they don't, they will face fines and court action.
We're about a 60% tenant occupied city. So the majority of our citizens are renters, and we have a moral and legal obligation to protect them.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Now, it's likely that people living in that building aren't the only ones at odds with their landlords over repairs. So this evening, we did some additional research on the Michigan renters' rights, which led us to 2 pieces of paperwork. Here is the first. This is a practical guide for tenants and landlords. It's created by the Michigan legislature. Now, this, you can see, it is a long read, but I want to focus on the section which is about solving repairs that are in your building. First, notify and provide a reasonable time for repairs, which is as simple as making a phone call or filling out a repair order. Second, you want to contact your city or town building inspector for an inspection, and the tenant or landlord must pay that inspector fee. Last, if the repairs are not fixed, withhold rent, put it into escrow, or pay for the repair yourself. State lawmakers say that only withhold a portion of rent unless this is something that is very catastrophic. Now, if you're going to make the repair, make sure to get 3 estimates. And above all, and that leads us to our second piece of paperwork here, a mock lease agreement. Before you sign your name on this dotted line, you got to read your lease so you can make sure you're covered.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to have somebody else read it too,
right?
To make sure you're legally protected, because you might not understand some of that fine print. So that's good to know.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
No problem.